Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, and it is time to start the query segment. If you are new to this segment, then there are a few rules that you need to follow. You can send us a message on any one of our social media platforms or indeed on our WhatsApp number. But do tell us your name, do tell us a stock that you want to know about. If you've acquired it, tell us what price you bought it at, and also tell us how long you intend to hold it. If it's less than a year, then we generally talk about it as a short-term view, and if it's more than a year, then we'll take a long-term view. We've got the first question coming in from Kunal Thakkar from Mumbai, and I promised that I would take this first today. Kunal, this one's for you. He's asking about Granules India, and I know that you've recommended this stock in the recent past as well, but he's pointed out that it seems to be a little bit of a volatile trade. He says that it swings very quickly. He's wondering whether there's any near-term price stability that you're anticipating and what the target would be in the near to medium term.
So yes, Alex recommended granules, I think 3 days back, and I think the price was around 336, 335 when I recommended, and the stock had actually jumped up to 360, 365 levels on that same day itself. So it had jumped up almost more than 6.5 to 7% that day. And I think yesterday is where you saw the stock going into corrective phase. Yes, the stock is volatile in nature, but then when you look at the chart patterns as well, the stock also tends to find some good support closer to its 50-day moving averages. Same happened for granules, I think, in the start of the month of January, where the stock took support at 320, bounced off towards 360 plus levels, and now it's back towards the 50 DMA. So higher probability that the stock can find some good support at these levels. So I think if you've bought at higher levels, then I would recommend to hold and look out for breakout points closer to 336, 337 yet again for granules. If that happens, then strong possibility that the stock can garner a strong uptrend for itself over the near term.
Okay, that was on granules. Rajesh, coming to you, we have a query coming in from Neha. She's asking whether she can average Madison Sumi at these levels. She's bought it at around 220 rupees. So your mid-term view and, to hold the stock, what is your fundamental view on Madison Sumi?
See, one can definitely hold on to the stock, even one can average. The stock has gone through some rough phase in the last 6 months or so, but that was due to semiconductor shortage affecting passenger vehicle sale. But as things pass on, I think these things are very far behind. And even after the demerger and all, the company is now focused on to specific businesses, and that's a very good thing. I think valuations are very attractive, and if somebody is into auto ancillary space, Motherson, so we could be the first choice. So yes, one can average.
The next question is coming in from Akash Rastogi. He's bought Jindal Stainless at prices of 188 Kunal, so he's making a bit of a profit at this juncture. He's wondering whether to hold on or should he book out right now.
I think many of these metal stocks, they are looking quite attractive. Jindal Stainless has recovered quite well. I think if I'm not wrong, it's up some 3.5% as well today. The short-term charts look to be quite attractive for the stock, and I would definitely suggest to hold on. And in fact, I think if the metal cycle gets into a much more stronger mode, there is a possibility that the stock can continue to rise up higher and maybe rally up another 10 to 15% over the very near term. So would recommend a hold.
Okay, Rajesh, next one coming in from you. We have Nimesh Shah, who's asking that he's bought an actually Jubilant Engravia at 800 rupees for the long term. Now, could you advise when could he average out at this price? What is your advice on Jubilant Engravia?
We are very bullish on this stock. We have recommended so many times this stock, and to our clients also. This is basically a play on pharma and agro. In some of the segments like B13 and all, these are the market leaders. Almost debt free. The company is doing very well. Margins have been growing, and we believe that going forward from the current market price, 20-25% appreciation in the next 6 to 9 months is quite possible. As far as the averaging is concerned, I think when the stocks is in a corrective mode, maybe 30-40 rupees downside from the current market price would be a good averaging point. But for a longer term horizon, we are very bullish on this.
Okay, pull up Gland Pharma. I'm actually seeing a sudden drop in the stock. It's down about 0.8% at this juncture, trading at 3669. We've got a viewer who's tuned in from the Netherlands. He's Ajay. Ajay is asking Rajesh about Gland Pharma. He's got 1,000 shares at levels of 3,500, so he's making a profit at this juncture, but he's got a long-term view. Should he hold on?
One should hold on. In injectables business, this is one of the major companies. The only issue with this company was the Chinese promoter was some people, some kind of investors think that it's anti-China sentiment and all. But otherwise, if you leave that apart, the fundamentals are very strong. Balance sheet is strong. They are market leaders in injectables. And in the longer term horizon, I think this Chinese and all sentiment would be on a back burner and things would start improving. This is a very good play for a long term.
Okay, Kunal, next one coming in from you. We have Harini who's asking whether they can buy Apollo at the current price for the short term is what she's asked. So what is your view on it? I assume it's Apollo Tires. They've not mentioned whether it's Apollo Hospitals or Tires.
I think if it's Apollo Tires, then definitely yes. Auto Ank looks very attractive. We've seen breakouts happening for many of the stocks on the auto as well as the Auto Ank space. Apollo Tires as well is heading towards a breakout. Over the last 1.5 years, it's forming a huge bullish flag pattern. The height of the pattern is almost like a 180 to 170 points for Apollo Tires. So it seems to be that the stock is just about on the verge of breaking out of this consolidation. Would suggest a buy, and if you're looking at it from a time frame, then I would suggest that keep at least a 9 month to 12 month plus kind of a time frame for Apollo Tires.
Okay, we've got Ashwin from Chennai who's bought Equitas holding at levels of 120. Rajesh, so this is a stock that's seen a bit of up and down, right? And there are certain questions that are being raised about how things are going to pan out. Should he hold on to this investment? What's the view on the small finance bank as well?
We are not very bullish on this SFB space as a whole. Out of the entire SFB space, I think the only stock which stands out is AU Bank. Otherwise, we would suggest switching your money from some of the public sector bank names like Bank of Baroda or Canada Bank, which is on a better footing than Equitas. So one should consider switching.
Next one is again for you. We have Shailaja who's asking whether they can buy HFCL at the current price for the short term.
I think one should wait, not jump onto the stock as of now, because after yesterday's price action and today's, sudden reversal post the results for HFCL, the stock has somehow gone into a corrective phase. My sense is that the stock can get into a furthermore correction over the near term. So not suggest a buy or immediate buy at current levels, but wait for significant corrections. Say, assuming if the stock comes closer to 80-82 levels, that could be a good starting point for you if you're looking to buy this volatile stock HFCL.
Okay, pull up Praj Industries and look at the year-to-date chart for Praj Industries. I'm seeing a gain of about 25% and I'm coming to you, Rajesh, on the fundamentals on Praj Industries because we've got a viewer, Bharat from Hyderabad, who's asking whether this is the right level to enter. Now, this is a stock that has gained tremendously since last year and it's playing the ethanol story, right? In that it's building the capacity necessary for the creation of ethanol from sugarcane. Is this a level that you can still enter at? Is the valuation comfortable according to you?
See, first let's talk about the company. The company is doing very good. Ethanol is a good story with the percentage of ethanol being blended increasing day by day by the government. It has been constantly increased every certain period. So I think the story is good. But as far as valuation is concerned, I think after the great run up this stock has had in the recent past, I think one should wait for entry into this. A better play would be India Glycol. That's again same ethanol story. So, but Praj is also good, but wait for some correction for new addition.
Okay, Kunal, we have the next one for you. Sagar wants a technical view on Marico. He sold 20 lots in the futures at 555 rupees levels. So should he book profit here or continue his short position?
Well, you can continue to hold on to your short positions. The stock is consistently showing signs of weakness, on the verge of giving a bearish crossover. The 50 EMA is on the verge of breaking below the 200 DMA as well. So probably that could add to some more pressure on the near-term charts for Marico. So with a suitable trailing stop loss, you can look to hold on to your short positions over here.
Okay, we've got a viewer tuning in from Tamil Nadu. This is Selva Pandi, and he's asking about Orient Paper. Let's pull up the chart and see where it's currently trading, around 35 or thereabouts, and it's not really a stock, from what I can see, that has very high volumes. But having said that, he's looking, Rajesh, for a view on paper stocks in general and on Orient Paper. So should he hold on to this, or is there a better bet in the paper space?
Paper as a sector has not performed for quite some time because of this corona and all. Schools were closed, government offices stopped buying new stationery and all those things, and that's because that is the main reason for the entire underperformance of the entire sector. But as far as valuation are concerned, some of the companies are trading at a very good valuation. Say, for example, West Coast Paper, which has got a good capacity of its own. They have holdings in Andhra Paper. So there are many stocks which are doing very well. Even JK Paper is doing well. As far as Orient Paper is concerned, I think the valuations are good. One should continue holding to the stock. Maybe 20-25% upside from the current market price is quite possible in the next 2 quarters.
Okay, Rajesh, I'm actually going to come back to you again. We want a 3-year view. Kathiravan wants a 3-year view on Emphasis. He's holding 50 shares at 3,000 rupees. So what should they be doing? They have a very long-term view.
See, the company has been doing well. In mid-cap IT companies, it's a good name. But why stick to Emphasis for such a long-term horizon? I think if somebody has got such a long-term horizon, you have better bets in the frontline IT space, which either Infosys or Tech Mahindra. But still, I would say Emphasis is also a good bet, but there are better choices available.
Okay, we've got Sudha, who's a senior citizen, Kunal, who's asking for any recommendations in the banking space, if I'm not mistaken, or she's asking for a general recommendation for a buy at this juncture. For the short term, she's asking if ICICI Bank and Reliance Industries can be bought.
See, I think I would say that probably HDFC Bank actually turns out to be much better than rest of the pack because the results are of course out of the way. The stock has not had a much negative price action. It's been a big underperformer over the last 1 year. There is a strong likelihood that the stock can cover up the underperformance. Large cap stocks, they tend to have a habit of staying underperformer for a certain set of time, and then suddenly you see these stocks tend to cover up their underperformance by a huge margin. So I believe in that aspect, the platform seems to be set for HDFC Bank to start rallying up and outperforming from current levels. So I think given your the profile which you have, I believe HDFC Bank could actually turn out to be a much better and a much safer bet rather than any other high beta name.
Okay, Rajesh, coming to you, Vignesh has a query on Jubilant Foodworks. Can he start investing in Jubilant Foodworks for a long-term perspective? And if yes, should it be in a staggered manner approach at this point?
Yes, it should be in a staggered manner. The same store sales growth has been quite comfortable. They have been adding new stores, and going forward also, as the complete lockdown complete reopening takes place, I think dining would be something to look out for. At this point of time, QSR is doing very well. Jubilant being the market leader, I think one should be with the stock.
Okay, we've got a question coming in from Aarti Kunal on Kajaria Ceramic. She says about 2 lakh that she wants to put into a stock for about a year. Will Kajaria be that stock?
Well, there are many stocks where you can put in money, but Kajaria Ceramics, of course, yes, looks to be a more decent, a buy and hold kind of a stock from a longer term perspective. Now, in the last 22 months from March 2020 lows, the stock has done exceptionally well. I think if I'm not wrong, it's like a 4x or a 5x from those levels of 300 for Kajaria Ceramics, now at 1350, 1360 levels. So you're buying a stock which has already performed very well and which has already done exceptionally well over the last 2 years approximately. So I would suggest that if you're looking to buy, have a time frame of at least another 2 years or 3 years more, for Kajaria Ceramics, as well have a strategy of more of buy on dips rather than buying the entire chunk at current levels, because even if there is any kind of a correction which comes by, say over the next 1 or 2 quarters for stocks like Kajaria Ceramics, you should try and take advantage of those corrections. So keep some powder dry and keep on averaging as and how the stock gets into a short-term correction.
Okay, Rajesh, I want to come to you in terms of Abhijit is asking for a long-term view on Divi's Lab. Should he be buying at the current price for a long term?
Yes, sir. API still has got a good story, and Divi's being a market leader, of course, it's a good buy. You should take corrections as an opportunity to enter, because I believe that from the current market price, a correction of maybe 200, 250 rupees is quite possible in the near future. But yes, it's a good buy for a long-term hold.
Okay, gentlemen, it's time to hit the rapid fire segment. So just a quick reminder to keep your answers as short as possible. We've got Shridev, who's asking about HDFC Bank. Rajesh, it's part of his long-term portfolio. Should he continue holding?
Of course, it's one should continue. The numbers have been consistent. We have seen asset quality improving. It's a hold.
Okay, Kunal, we have Azma asking for Tech Mahindra with a 3-month view. Can they buy at this rate?
Well, yeah, you can look to buy at current levels and keep on averaging because many of these IT stocks also have a tendency of getting to short-term corrections. So keep on averaging lower as well.
Okay, I do not know the holding price. The name of the counter is Dilip Billcon. Kunal, this one's for you. We've got Rajesh from Kerala who's holding 200 shares. He's asking whether it can be averaged today. It's seeing a dip of about 4.7%.
Well, the stock is underperforming. I would suggest wait for rallies, in fact, to try and offload the stock or get into a sell on rallies mode rather than buy on dips.
Okay. We have Shushrit asking about Rain Industries. Rajesh, he's holding 450 shares at 88 rupees. Should he hold or should he be booking profit?
At this point of time, it's a hold. We expect at least 15% upside from the current market price.
Okay, Rajesh, InterGlobe Aviation, Delta Corp, Sudha wants to know whether to buy these unlocked trades right now.
No, we would suggest to stay away from both these stocks at this point of time. If unlock play is your theme, then you go for hospitality like Indian hotels.
Kunal, Jayant is asking for Tata Tea at current level. Should he be looking to average out? We don't know the buying price though.
Not really. I would suggest an avoid.
Kunal, Manappuram bought at levels of 99.9. Can a 20% upside be expected in a year? Joe wants to know.
Well, yeah, I think from current levels, you can expect the stock to move up towards at least 185 to 190 plus.
Okay, and with that, we are absolutely out of time on this edition for our stock queries. But stay tuned in. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Rajesh. And the viewers, we'll be back with more on the markets on the other side, so don't go anywhere.